A terrific half-century from skipper Harmanpreet Kaur and an all-round performance from the tournament's leading run-getter Nat Sciver-Brunt helped Mumbai Indians reclaim the WPL title as Delhi Capitals agonizingly lost their third straight final. Marizan Cap came up with an excellent all-round display to try and prevent Capitals from being runners-up again, but her efforts went in vain as DC lost by a narrow margin of 8 runs. Primed to finally lift the crown that evaded their grip right at the end in the last 2 years, Capitals kick-started the run chase of 150 on a disastrous note, losing both Meg Lanning and Shafali Varma inside the opening 3 overs. Sciver-Brunt outwitted Lanning with an off-cutter to breach her defense and shatter the leg stump before Shabnam Ismail deployed the same tactic to trap Varma LBW. If not for the 3 boundaries that Jess Jonasson and Jemima Rodriguez fetched in the 6th over, DC would have finished the power play with a run rate under 6. However, any hopes of a recovery on the back of those 3 boundaries came crashing down when Amelia Kerr entered the attack and immediately struck as Jonasson mistimed a googly, only to get a top edge. More trouble was in store as Saika Ishak arrived at the other end and had Annabelle Sutherland stumped to reduce DC to 44 fourths. While Rodriguez broke the shackles with back-to-back boundaries off Kerr, the New Zealander gave a strong riposte in the same over to eke out a leading edge off the same batter to reduce the chasing side to 66-5. At this point, the Capitals would have sensed that it was a case of another missed opportunity. But a heroic effort from Cap, who had already done her bit with the ball in the first half, kept DC in the hunt. Having slammed Sciver-Brunt over deep mid-wicket for a 6, she also pulled one past short fine leg to pick up a boundary and then followed it up with consecutive 4s off Hayley Matthews. The jitters were well and truly back for MI after the South African went 4-6-4 against Ishak to bring the equation down to a gettable 35 off 24. Even though Nikki Prasad was playing second fiddle, she came up with a timely drive to ease some pressure on Cap. With 29 needed off 18, all DC needed was one good over to bring the chase under control. However, it was Sciver-Brunt who came to MI's rescue yet again by dismissing Cap and Sheikha Pandey off successive deliveries that came as a crushing blow for the Capitals. Prasad then kept the opposition on their toes with a huge 6 off Matthews, but Sciver-Brunt's experience came to the fore as she managed to close out the game in excellent fashion in the final over by conceding just 5 runs when the Capitals needed 14. Earlier in the evening, Cap and Sheikha Pandey made life difficult for MI in the power play with a top-class new ball spell that saw them concede just 10 runs in the first 4 overs. Cap, who bowled Matthews with a peach, went on to bowl all 4 overs on the trot and finished her spell with the wicket of Yastika Bhatia as well. After 8 overs, the inaugural champions were reeling at 28 for 2 and badly needed the experienced duo of Kaur and Sciver-Brunt to bail them out. After initially biding their time, the duo got going with the English all-rounder smashing a couple of boundaries before Kaur took on Sutherland for a 6 and a 4 in the very next over. What followed was a very good period of play for MI as the boundaries kept flowing. Kaur slammed Jonasson for a hat-trick of boundaries and added a couple more off Minu Mani to bring up an excellent half-century. That 5-over phase saw MI score 59 runs, which gave the run rate a massive fill-up. With the game appearing to slowly slip away, Sciver-Brunt hit one straight to square leg to give Capitals a breakthrough which they capitalized. Kerr and Sajana were sent back by Jonasson in the following over and Sutherland came back for her final over to get rid of the big fish as Kaur hit one to deep extra cover to depart for 66. 103/2 soon became 118-6. The MI lower order then added some handy runs to drag their team to 149, which eventually proved to be just enough to get their hands on the trophy for the second time in 3 years and extend DC's misery.